here we go. This is Veronica from USC against Isaac from UTRGV. So I'm following all of them. I'm going to have to change the title as well. Okay, good. And they've all started their games. We're a little late, but better late than never. And yeah, let me change the title. So this, I think, is another D2 match. And let me double check this. Yeah. Okay, so this is USC's A team versus University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley A team. I believe that's what it is. This is D2. Yeah, GG's to Yale B and Purdue A. Yale gonna hope to come back stronger next week against their next opponent. Purdue gonna try to do as good, if not better, next time. I don't know if they could do better. 13.5 is pretty strong. Okay, so Veronica, this is the board 1 from USC. Here, let me adjust this board a little bit. Not the board, but like the scoreboard, you know? Trying to be size efficient, make things good for the viewers. Don't want you guys to be squinting to look at their names or whatever, or the scores. Okay. Let me adjust this real quick. How's that? Is that better? All right. So, Veronica, she is the board 1 for USC this week. She's also their team leader. So, she helps organize the team matches, gets their troops riled up, ready to go. She's played King F7. I'm not sure what this plan is. Oh, she wants to bring the other rook in. Okay, going after this G-pawn. But this does put her king opposite of these doubled rooks here. UTRGV, one of the stronger schools in the competition, in the league. But as you can see, they don't have their full force available today. However, I think that their boards are kind of underrated. I'm not going to lie. And Isaac here taking it to Veronica, 2.5 minutes to 40 seconds. Material is even, but this king kind of without a home. He's got his tennis shoes on. He's out for a jog. But when he comes back, he's going to find a couple of rooks in his spot. And this bishop is cutting him off. So, yeah, this king's kind of stuck in the middle of the board. Little house here, though. So, not too open. Queen going to come for some activity. This is a hanging pawn. So, rook now coming over. Let's see. Where would you go? Here? Rook lift. That goes a pawn right there. Defending this, though, if potential sacrifice. I don't see it, though. That's a pen. So now the king steps aside out of the pen. We could see a bishop move with queen here. Now queen here is also possible. Okay, the king's coming back home. So this pawn was never taken. This rook now going to try to enter the fray. The queen comes back to try to defend. What is going on here? Rook over after the pawn. Maybe I would go bishop here. No, defending this way. Kind of interesting. So you're kind of, yeah, you should have maybe gone back because now you can't use the bishop to defend. So rook kicks out the queen, but the bishop could have taken the rook. Isaac is playing really fast when he doesn't need to be. This is kind of a desperation move. Oh, if you take, this bishop is just covering the checkmate. There would have been rook check here, other rook check, but the bishop was guarding that. So the bishop comes in. Ooh, and now we've got an open H-file. Things are turning now. And, I mean, Isaac playing with 2 minutes looks like he's trying to dirty flag Veronica. Pawn takes with check. Oh, my goodness. Dude, I mean, there's increment. You can't flag someone. Oh, my goodness. Queen H5. Where do you go? Where do you go? You go here. Boom. Check and mate. You go here. Boom. Yeah, no, this is lights out. Veronica with her back against the wall. Her king on the run. Her king literally came all the way over here, came all the way back. White playing dangerously fast, getting the H file opened up with devastating effect. And yeah, this game is over. Black turning the tables around. Isaac, the board 4, they could have had more. Instead, getting checkmated on the spot. Well done by Veronica. A close call indeed. So maybe a little bit of a wake-up call. She's getting by against the board 4. We got a resignation. We had Kentucky beating Quinton from USC. We've got this game left. Less than 15 seconds from both sides. Let me update the score here. 1 point for Veronica. We got 1 point for Kentucky. The board 3 taking down the board 2. We got the queen stepping up. This rook would like to come here. So instead, going to have to reroute. Okay, going this way instead. I like the queen leading. But okay, the rook is also guarding the pawn. So we will not be picking. 1 second. 2.4 seconds left on the clock. The queen's going for mate. You got to watch out. Queen check, king here. Pawn check, king here. Oh my goodness. What's the follow-up? Queen here. Queen check, king up. Queen check again. King back down. Maybe you should have considered this. I don't know. Maybe they're going to go for a draw. You want to go for a draw? Yeah, they go for a draw. All right. They were both very, very scared kings. No idea if they could survive or not. Here's the last game. We've got Sam, 7 seconds, indirect with a turtle profile picture. Instant crowd favorite. Except he's got the white flag. So he is prone to resignation, perhaps. Not sure what that signifies. But let's give who was that? Far Octopus and Fabian their respective draw points. So 0.5, 0.5. So match is all tied up, 1.5 each. But looks like Sam is in a lot of pressure here. And King is a little short on squares. If this knight was a pawn, that would be almost mate. The knight covers that. But yeah, King only has these 2 squares to work with. This king in the middle. Okay, that's a big threat. Rook here, knight takes with check. King steps back. Maybe another check. Not too sure. Black is in the driver's seat here. Definitely. But you do have to watch out for this. So king has to go back. Now that's a thing. Knight here, that's a free piece, my friend. You should have taken this knight first. Wow, white missed it in the time pressure. And the knight keeps coming back. Both players are missing it. Black finally takes the knight. White missed this in time pressure. Indirect now, less than 20 seconds. Going after this pawn structure. Knight's going after the fork. I would trade this down. You get all these pawns in the world. Black should be able to win this one with the increment. Easy peasy. Sam Hessian missing the knight multiple times. Gonna be beating himself up for that one after he looks back at the tape. You know, you always got to review the tape. That's how you get better. Reviewing the footage. All right, rook up. There's rook check. King back. And then how do you defend that? No, another check. You go here. No, rook check. That's not me. Okay. You could have taken this. No, you're defending that guy. And now there goes this pawn. Going for rook trade, but rook check, king back. You take that pawn. This is going to be a draw. Black dropped all the pawns. They left no pawns to spare. King here. Another check. Get the king to the back rank. Yeah. Back from whence you came. King here threatens mate in 2. You got to give this check. Yes, you do. King back. Rook back, and it's a draw. King moves. Okay, chasing the king down. King here, king here. What do? You go after... Okay, hold up. Yeah, you got to stay here, though. So this is kind of weird. You check here. Just don't flag. So indirect, declined draw. Sam offers draw again. Oh, black going after this pawn. So takes. Gonna go out behind the pawn now. Indirect, you just don't flag. Whatever you do. After you decline the draw, you just can't lose. All right, so now the king's... Oh my goodness. What a blunder. Oh, indirect squeaking out the dub here. The king lines up with the rook and the check. Getting the piece, promoting the pawn home. You got to go here. You got to go here. Big time blunder from white. And indirect saying, I told you so. Declining the draw. White couldn't get the job done. And yeah, if that's a draw, we're tied 2-2 going into the second round. Instead, indirect gets the win. Board 1 against board 4. That would have been huge for USC. They're only down by 1 point, but that momentum from the board 4 against board 1 is crucial. So, my oh my. What a game. So here we go. Fabian against Sam. Sam probably beating himself up after that one. And credit to indirect for that fighting spirit continuing on. You know, I mean, hey, it might be a drawn position, but you're up a pawn, right? Why not? Why not go for it? It's time pressure. Anything can happen. That is the competitive spirit. Okay, so here we go. Sam trying to get some points back. Got to stay composed. Can't think about that last match, even though that's the only thing he's thinking about right now. Probably. I have no idea. But I know that would definitely shake up a lot of people. You can't let it happen to you. You got to stay focused on this next match. Here, going after the bishop. That bishop's going to be a goner. Can't save the bishop. One of these pawns are going to be moved off the original spot. Which one do you take with? That is a check and a fork. So do you take like this and open up the A file? Or do you take like this and open up the king? The king can always move to the corner. But hard to tell. I think either is honestly fine. I feel like I would change which pawn I take with depending on my mood. Like if I'm feeling good, yeah, I'll take with the A pawn. If I'm feeling like, oh my god, that rook is going to just open up this A file, maybe I take like this and move the king to the corner. I don't know. But white takes with the A pawn. We've got doubled pawns here. Trade down. And yep, this rook trying to activate on the A file. Going to push a pawn through. And that guarantees that the A file opens up as well. But this also defends the pawn. You could give up this pawn if you want. Like white would take, king takes after this, and then queen takes. But yeah, queen probably has no interest in these pawns. And I love this. Like, look at this. We've got the rooks on the corners and their pawns just pushing through, trying to open up the files at the king. That's why opposite side king side castles are just awesome games. It's all about attack, right? White looks like they're hitting first. I really like this a lot because the queen and the rook and the bishop and sometimes even the pawn as well, I mean, they're all really working together here. The threat is going to be pawn takes, opening up the h-file, and then bishop takes, king takes, queen check, and then queen h7. So black has this on their mind. They see it. But how do they deal with it? This is going to be a problem. Yeah, it's not looking too good. The top two computer lines both give up the rook. So that's not great. And the next best is queen takes or bishop takes h6, queen takes, and then g5. Just keeping this pawn on the h-file. But that doesn't look good either. So, yeah, I didn't think that black would play any of those moves because those are all very computer moves. Instead, playing a developing move, one could say a human move or a blunder, f5, and now g4. So the bishop has to go somewhere. Maybe a blunder is a bit harsh of a term to call this move, but just doesn't look good for black here. Probably going to have to go here. Yeah, computer says a4, which no human's going to play this move. Unless you just didn't see that the bishop was hanging. I'm not sure. But I don't think Sam's going to win this one, unfortunately, for him. So, yeah, bishop back to d7. Pawn takes, open to h-file. You kind of just have to take this back. And then there's going to be bishop takes. And you can't even take back. You would need, like, rook f7 there. But yeah, I mean, I'm not the one making the moves, luckily for me. I can see what the computer is saying. But now, yeah, it's mate. So king f7 is your best. No, king f7. Gotta go king f7. And then there's queen takes h7. And if you go in the corner, then there's queen takes. You have to block. And then there's mate. So, king f7, queen takes. Then you have to go... Where do you have to go? King f6. Then there's g5. So there's king f6 now, but just g5 again. I mean, I don't know. This is game over. Okay, Indirect and Far Octopus have just started their game. So we'll look at that one last. Let's look at Veronica. How's she doing? Kentucky got a win against USC's second board. So, can Veronica get some revenge after Kentucky took down... Who did he take down? Quentin. Can Veronica lead the team? I mean, look at her time management. Kentucky is frozen, perhaps in fear. Perhaps he's getting a snack. Honestly, I don't know. But I presume he's thinking about the position. I could only hope so. The position looks pretty even to me. Even materially. White has a bit of a space advantage in the center. Queen steps up, lining the bishops up, trying to get this dark square bishop off. Black is looking at this. Rook and two knights. White has the 2 knights and the bishop. So now the queen adds herself to the e-file. Rook from A to E1, defending E4 again. And she played it almost instant. Bishop here, big mouse slip. That's got to be a mistake. Probably meant here. Veronica, cold-blooded, doesn't even question it, takes immediately. So now she's in a good spot. She's up a piece. The chess gods smiled down upon her, gifting her a freebie, aka a free bishop. And yeah, she's got quite the time lead as well. I still can't believe how fast her opponent was playing last round. Isaac, that guy with 2 minutes to like her 17 seconds. Yeah, this guy just resigns. That's unfortunate. So, and yeah, this is a huge mistake. So that's a fork of the queen and knight. You just got to move the queen. After knight takes, there's pawn takes, attacking the knight, opening up the rook's view, pinning the knight to the queen, and you're going to lose another piece. So Kentucky throws in the towel. It's unfortunate for him, but good for USC because now Veronica gets a point back, ties up the match again, 2.5, all knotted up. Now Isaac's against Quentin here. Quentin, time pressure, 30 seconds. Isaac up on the board and on the clock. Why was this not taken? Somebody tell me. If you take this, what is this position? Wow, so the computer's looking at this fork here. So that is a hanging piece. But, you know, the rook was hit, so the rook moves. I really liked knight takes. I don't know what was wrong with that. Maybe they don't want to open up the diagonal for the bishop. But anyways, we keep making some moves. Oh, there goes a check. Pawn block, and now queen takes pawn with check. That's a free bishop, but that would be a free knight. Instead, the knight's saying, well, hey, what's up? Where's your king going? So the queen's going to say, all right, I see you, so I'm going to take that. But then black's going to be like, yeah, well, I'm going to take this, and it's going to be game over for Isaac. So he gets the win against Quentin, assuming no blunders or mouse slips or Botez gambits. So Isaac, after losing to Veronica, gets a point against the board 2. So he's probably an underrated board 4. He played really well against both boards, the top boards from USC. So Quentin, the second board, struggling to find some points, still 0 out of 2. Veronica carrying 2 out of 2, but we still have 2 games left in this second round before we go into the second half. Yeah, look at that. How do you stop that? I don't think you do. I think you have to move this A pawn so that once this pawn is lost, you can move the rook. And that's exactly what we see. A5, but you're still losing a pawn, which isn't great, but better than losing a rook. And actually, I think black is... Okay, this is a really odd position. Black is up a piece, but like, what is going on here? So yeah, it's kind of weird. Bishop takes, rook here, bishop goes back here, rook here. There's also always this check, but then the pawn's going to be weak. So yeah, I don't really know what's going on. I think we need knight here. Just triple up the pieces on the h-file. And then you need to move this pawn to open up this bishop. So not even going for the pawn. Bringing the knight in here, I suppose. Why not just like here? Here, but then here. And it's like, okay, maybe that. Or this. I still don't know. I don't know what this move is all about, but yeah, now I think b5 is pretty solid, right? You're just saving that pawn. I don't know, indirect Indirect has a way to fight on through weird positions, it seems. Oh, so hold on. Did Sam beat Fabian? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold the phone. What happened here? I thought white was just killing. G5 king here. Queen H4. H5. En passant. So the move, apparently knight E2 is checkmate in 2 moves. A4. And then just queen to F4. No, knight G3. Yo, thank you guys. We got a back-to-back raid. Did you guys plan this out, or did you guys just both end your matches at the same time? Wait, were you playing each other? No, there's no way. Kim Stud, thank you. And John Ken as well. So Kim Stud was just playing Temple, and John Ken was playing... I don't know. I think he was doing post-game analysis. So thank you guys. We got 2 raids from some Collegiate Chess League players and streamers. So definitely go check them out, support them. We just finished up Yale's B team. They lost to Purdue. And now we're watching USC's A team against UTRGV A team. So this is a close match here. And I was just looking at this crazy game. In this position, white has checkmate in 2 with knight E2 and queen E4, or knight E2 and knight to G3. White does not find this. They play en passant, still in an absolutely crushing position. The king is leading the army here. The most advanced piece that black has. Queen check, king back, D takes, and D6 is played. F4 would have been the play for sure. Instead, D6, bishop here hits the queen. Queen over, queen trade, denied. D7 with check, queen block, saves the queen. Queen takes pawn, rook here. What a little rook move. You give up the rook, rook takes, king here, and then rook here, queen takes pawn, rook check, king, knight check, king with the fork. I mean, using literally every single piece. This is a forced mate in 8 for white still. Queen takes pawn, and then queen takes C2. I mean, time pressure granted, but holy smokes, what a turnaround in this game. Yeah, Sam Hessian fighting till the end, getting a dub when his team needs it. He is the board 4, so ties it up at 3.5. This is the last game in round 2 before halftime. So Far Octopus from USC, board 3. He had a draw in the first round. He is up 3 points of material, but down on the clock big time. 19 seconds to a minute and 35. So over a minute advantage. White has a connected passed pawn. White has a battery on the H file. I don't know how you get rid of this predicament, but it's not looking too pleasant. In fact, I feel like the knight could take this pawn if it so chooses, if it pleases the knight, and the knight does so. So indirect, chipping away at that pawn disadvantage. Doesn't matter how much material you have if it's all pinned. So rook comes over, hits the knight. Knight says, I'll just go right back. Got that pawn. And there goes the bishop. So the rook leaves the 7th rank for some activity, but unfortunately, you're giving up this guy. So black was up a piece for a pawn and is now down a pawn. Gets a pawn back. Gets a second pawn. But look at this king and these pieces. I would push, I think. I would push here. Get me on in there. This knight has no good moves. And that check is going to be crushing. White finds it. White finds it. You're not going to stop this, and you're not going to stop that. So black is going to lose this game. Indirect will get another point and take the lead back for UTRGV. So rook trying to go for checks, but it is too slow, too little, too late. The question is, do you save the rook or you just make a queen? Do you save the rook or you just make a queen? Because you make a queen with check, king takes, so there's no time for the skewer. And even if you do get the skewer, the knight is guarding it. So indirect is thinking here, like, how do I just win this game? And maybe you could go here, maybe, but the rook will give itself up for that. So you'll be up a rook in that position. What you could do is, okay, you could play here. After check, you have rook block, but now that allows the knight to come in. The knight is there. So black only having to give up the knight for the pawn. Meanwhile, you could have made a queen on the board and had that queen in your back pocket. So white saying, you know, I'm still going to win. So there's that. But now there's a bunch of rook checks. There's a bunch of rook checks here. And now the rook is back. So far octopus with the black pieces holding on and actually going to win this back and is going to be up a pawn. So white with some questionable decision making, not making a queen with check. And now has to play and hopes for a draw, down a pawn. Far octopus could win this game. Hold up, something went wrong. Something went wrong. I think, what do I think? I don't even know. You want to go here. Yeah. So king here, that loses for black. So king here, king here, king here. No, now it wins for white. You couldn't go there. That's like a landmine square. You have to keep dodging that square, and only then you take. So black messed this up, and all is right in the world again. White is winning. That's kind of like, it's like white's winning. White throws it away. It's a draw. Black's winning. Black throws it away. It's a draw. And then white's winning again. And yeah, all the wrongs were righted, or however you see it. I don't know. Crazy game. White wins. So yeah, indirect building onto UTRGV's lead. 2 for 2. We're 4.5 to 3.5 going into round 3, second half. So USC could have squeaked out a couple more points perhaps in that first half, but they're only down by a point. So this is a very tight, close match. Anything can happen. I mean, Sam Hessian's game against Fabiano, absolutely insane that he won that with mate in 2 in 2 different ways on the board. There was also mate in 8. There was also mate in less than that. So he somehow got a win there. So all in all, I mean, the score is what the score is. It's close. Games have gone either way. And yeah, the match is yet to be decided. This is nowhere close to game over yet. 2 more rounds, 8 more games. USC needs 5 wins out of the 8 to get the win. UTRGV only needs 4. So we'll see what happens. All right, Sam, up a pawn, active queen, strong control of the center, ready to castle queenside. Needs to get this bishop out. Black, meanwhile, can castle kingside if they want to. They also need to get the bishop out. 1600 versus 1700. These are 2 extremely closely rated teams. Indirect, though, 2200. He's the strongest board out of all 8 players here. And he's proven to be effective. He's 2 for 2. Veronica, beat Kentucky last round. She is also 2 for 2. She has not yet started her game yet against Fabiano. Oh no, never mind. Here it is. We're staring at it. I'm blind. Okay, here's the game. Naharika, no. Sorry. Her username and Veronica makes me up a little bit. Okay. What's going on here? Queen and bishop lined up, pointing at the king. Knight's defending that. And the bishop can come back at some time to try to trade this down. But instead, staring at the knight is defended by the other knight. Will we see c4? This bishop is outside the pawn chain. So black is looking pretty good here, all things considered. And yeah, Fabiano just thinking, using his sweet time here. 3:20 on the clock. Veronica, 4.5 minutes. Wait, so who's the game that hasn't started yet? Okay, white going for the attack. G4, full send. Bishop trade, probably. How would you take back, H or F? I'm thinking, I don't know. I actually don't know. So we have opposite side castles. Does black now launch a pawn? No, they take on d4. Pawn takes. Oh, can you go here? Knight b4. No, rook c8 first. Threat is knight b4. You could still do knight b4. Oh, that's a big blunder. Knight b4 hits, and it hits hard. Bishop takes, giving up the queen. There goes the lady for 2 pieces. Yeah, rook here. Maybe like a3 could have stopped that. But this was telegraphing that all day. I think you should have started knight b4 first, honestly. But didn't go for that. Just prepared it. Gave white a chance to defend, but they didn't. And now Veronica's up a queen. Queen for 2 pieces. Feeling pretty good. But it's not game over. Not yet. She's got to convert. She's sending the pawns. Where's Far Octopus? Far Octopus. Morgan Liu. Do not see her games. She should be playing against Isaac. And Isaac's been doing well. So he took 1 point out of the top 2 boards. Now in the second half, he's going to be playing the bottom 2 boards. So their game has just started. So we'll look at that one last. This game should be close to on the wraps. Rook check. Rook pen maybe. Or maybe get the queen over somewhere. Knight here is going to be a fork, so you might want to pin the knight. That's my move. Yep. So now the knight is pinned. Maybe f6 at some point. It's pretty weakening and unnecessary, but it feels good. You get that knight out of there. But yeah, totally not a good positional move. Instead, you would rather play on with the pieces. Yes, Bali. John Ken is a player. Oh, that is a free knight, as this guy is pinned. So I would take that if I were Veronica, and she does. And Fabiano, I think it's just Fabian Olivares, but oh. Okay, this knight, unfortunately, has a lot of expectations. He's got high expectations, and he is dropping the ball on every piece he's trying to defend is just dropping. And this time, he resigns before Veronica has a chance to illustrate that she knows how pin pieces work. So this rook f to c8 moves paying dividends, winning her 2 pieces there. So Veronica now 3 for 3. Can she go 4 for 4? She is carrying this SC team on her back, leading the way, tying it up here. So 4.5 for each team. We're dead even. Let's look at indirect now. Indirect. This is UTRGV's top board. Ricardo Parado, the turtle, declining the draw, getting the win. Also flawless, 2 for 2. Can he go 3 for 3? And we'll have that heads-up match between him and Veronica to see who goes flawless. So how's Quentin doing here with the black pieces? Quentin yet to castle. Looks like potentially going queen side, but then white's going to hit hard with a4. Just tearing this queen side up. So the king sees this in his future if he goes this way. Debating whether or not that's good. Knight hops in, saying, look at that pin. Queen takes. This knight is blocking the rook's view, trying to pin the queen to the king. So, wait, can we just take here? I mean, holy smokes. That can't be good. That's a free piece, no? Because that's called a fork. A family fork at that. Oh, you can't start with the knight. Okay, this is still fine. I mean, you win the piece, but I would take with the bishop. You're threatening to take like that. Well, anyways, you're threatening this. You're also threatening that probably, and you might have some nasty discoveries. Quentin here. What you up to? Can you do like, I don't know. Can you like move this knight? Oh, this knight is defending mate. I see the queen and bishop are looking at some stuff going on over here, but it's not going to work. I'm also thinking like this. I'm also thinking that. But yeah, white seems to have everything under control. Time advantage as well. Quentin's thinking a lot here because he kind of needs to. This position is really dangerous. But unfortunately, I don't think there's a way out of it. There's a check. There is a check. This could be really dangerous. If the king moves, rook takes, king takes. I mean, I don't know. You could even push the pawn. You could try. I don't know. How badly does this work? Queen here is also a thing that black should worry about because black has like a lot of chances at finding some sort of brilliancy mate. The problem is that this king is so exposed and this bishop is a beast. Like an absolute monster. You can't even take this because you just lose that. There's also, there's checks galore. So this is a bit optimistic. Mate in one threat. Unfortunately, the rook was hanging. So now there's a bunch of checks. This king is stuck here. You don't want to allow this checks. The king goes down instead of out. And yeah, white should be able to close this one out. It's only a matter of time. So indirect, looking to go directly 3-0. Let's look at Sam's game now. Sam versus Jin Tucky. Jin Tucky. We've got a bishop pair versus a rook and a pawn. So white is down in exchange for 2 pawns. In exchange for 2 pawns. So it's relatively even material. I would push here. I'm playing d5. Both players low on the clock, but Sam thinking here. 10 seconds now. Come on, d5, buddy. You can do it. D5. No, here there's this maybe. What? Take it. Move the rook. Oh my goodness, Sam. Push the pawn. Knight takes. Bishop takes. Rook takes. Watch out for this. Don't let that happen. Take this. Rook here. Bishop here. No, that's a free... No! They're skewered now. Oh, sacrifice. Bishop here. I mean, it's still a draw, but like, what the heck? People dropping pieces left and right in the time pressure. Do not take the pawn, I swear. King up. Check again. Oh, bishop back. Rook check, bishop block. Going at, that's not free. Go here. No. Go up again. No time. 2.6 seconds. Check. Go here. Move. Oh my god. 2.2 seconds. Rook here. Flag him. Here. Yes. Offer draw. Bishop up. Good move. Here. Yeah, you're not going to take a draw up a rook with no time. Keep checking. Okay. Time. 1 second. 2.8 seconds. Go faster, please. 2.9. Check. I mean, this king is just bullying this poor king. Okay, there's going to be some shelter here. But then the king's going to take that. Oh, no. Oh, you got to block with mate. Oh. Sam couldn't get it done. He missed the free rook. Way back here. I mean, that is just... That is not good. Oh, my God. And then, yeah, like, that looks good. But, like, rook here as well should be just good. Yeah, it's brutal. A lot of missed pieces. I mean, even here as well. But you got the skewer in the end anyways. So, what happened? Jintucky. Oh, let's look at this. Far Octopus now. 3 seconds. Man. So he gave... Did we give Indirect his point? Not yet. So he's at 3 now. He takes the lead back for UTRGV. Jintucky gets a point. And is Far Octopus doing okay? Again, 7 seconds to 240. Like, holy smokes. White looks like they're fine. I think black should have taken here. I think white should play here now. I wouldn't trade down. But, oh well. I liked rook here. Just opposite the king. Seemed pretty active at the time. Queen here doesn't really threaten much besides the pawn. Okay, maybe it threatens a lot. I don't know. But I would go here. Yeah, and then try to go here. I would go here. That's my commentary. If I was playing this game, I would do this and that, and I would... Maybe I should just talk about what's going on here. So yeah, black is just gobbling up these pawns. White's trying to stir up some counterplay, but it's going to be too little too late, I think. You could take with the queen. Queen here threatens mate. You go queen here. There's this check, but then king here. So there's really nothing there. Computer says it's a draw. And now it says white's winning. And now it says it's a draw. What on earth happened? What was the move here? Queen to g6. I looked at queen g6. Queen g6. Queen g5. Queen e8. King to h7. H takes. King takes. Dude, I don't know. I don't know. It said white was winning. I thought black would be fine there. But now it's just a draw again. Maybe I should never say just a draw, because it's never just a draw. Because players make mistakes. I would give it check there. I don't know. You're trying to fork these. I don't see it. I don't see it. You need the king to come here, but it's not going to happen. King h7. King here. Oh. Wait, what on earth? rook to b1 is winning. That's crazy. Yeah, try to get the other rook in. Yeah, see if he goes back. Come on, Octopus. Come on, Morgan. You can do it. Low time, though. It's tricky. You just want to keep checking. Like, Morgan would be happy with the draw here. She's down a pawn. But you're the higher rated opponent. Your team needs it. You guys are down. Yeah, she moves the rook. Now it's good for white. It's +4. And she played that a lot faster. Isaac, when he's thinking, she's thinking. Now, trying to get the rooks off, but the queen's guarding that. So, oh, queen check. Interesting. Ah, queen was blocking this check. Could you have given rook check here? Rook check? Question mark? Queen's coming in for some gnarly mates. Queen e4. Only check. This king is cut off from the back. Your king has 2 moves. Queen has a move, but that loses to rook check, wins the queen. There's pawn check, queen block. Oh, queen e8. Queen e8 was brutal. Oh, rook check. Obvious move. King up. Pawn check. No, queen takes c4. It's even better. Oh, no. Queen check loses to this and probably everything else. Yeah. So far, Octopus Morgan, she's got it. She's going to tie this match up at 5.5 apiece, assuming she doesn't blunder her queen or flag or lose internet connection. Who knows? But yeah, Isaac again. Isaac in these spots where he has time and he just plays fast in like a drawn position and then finds himself like not knowing what to do. So there's pawn block, pawn check. King can go here. Pretty much only move. If you go here, you're mated. So now queen check, king here, queen check, king here, and rook check, queen block, and GG. Yep, queen mate. So Morgan keeping it tied, knotted up. Far Octopus, 1.5 now. 1.5, and now we're back to Quentin versus Fabian. Even position. This pawn is backwards, so white has the space advantage. The bishop kicks out the rook. So the guy's going to have to move. Bishop here now. Does that win a pawn? Okay, you can give up the pawn. Why? Because you have a rook winning another pawn back. So the bishop's going to get hit. It's a fancy trade of pawns. Don't get too caught up on it. So rook attacks the bishop. You're going to get that pawn back. Yep. So the bishop's going to have to come back. We're going to gobble this up. So black may be now able to push this pawn through, and so isn't doing too badly. And that's especially good because it's striking it. Well, okay, hold on. There's a bishop here as well. So here, here, here. Takes, 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 takes. So yeah, I think the problem is white's not going to give up this bishop. I think at the right moment, well, okay, this knight is kind of dominating the bishop a little bit because, well, all right, we've got the pawn back. Does black play c5? Does black play c5? Or do we take the bishop? I think you take the bishop. If I was white and I know that the knight is defending this pawn, I would move the bishop somewhere. Not there. I would move the bishop here, kick the knight out, and then bring the bishop in. So black takes the bishop and only then plays c5. So now you could play like here maybe. You don't have to take this. It is defending this bishop, so we could try to hit the bishop. Okay, we have 4 games going on right now. I'm not really sure how. Because Quentin is playing... Oh, Quentin's... No, I must have missed the game. Far Octopus and Jintucky. They're rematching. I think I missed the game then, huh? If Quentin and Fabiano are playing on their last game. Because they're both board 2s. So I missed something. So that's kind of weird. That's my bad. I missed the game. Maybe I could look it up. Okay. So yeah, white doesn't take, pushes here. And now we are attacking the bishop. Bishop back. Now we can win a pawn, perhaps. Yeah, let me look up these players. See what's going on. So okay, I have the top boards right because they both have played 3 games and have won 3 games. Oops. So how has Quentin been doing? Quentin has lost all of his games so far. And that is accurately reflected. Far Octopus. How's she been doing? She is 1.5, so that's right. So then, who is it, Sam? Oh, it's probably someone on the other team. Yeah, Sam has 1. So then, let me look at the other boards then. So that means UTRGV should have a lead. Did Fabian get another point somewhere that I missed? Fabian has only 0.5 point. Jintucky. Yeah, Jintucky has 2 points. Jintucky beat Sam, and he beat Quentin. And Jintucky right now is playing against Far Octopus. So, after 3 rounds, UTRGV is up by 1 point. They need 2 points out of the 4 to win the match. These players both with 15 seconds to their name. There's a rook check denying the trade. Black could force the trade. 10 seconds now. Attacking the pawn. White is saying, please draw. I would be happy. Both players 1800 plus. I mean, okay, White's saying, nah, let's play on. Trades rooks. I mean, the position is equal, but look at the time. Here. Okay, rook, check, king up. You got to defend this. Okay, or attack that. Yeah, both players tickling each other. Seeing, hey, we're going to do 3-move repetition. They've been doing 2-move repetition, and then they've been playing on. So, pawn check, that looks kind of free. But after king takes, there's rook takes. But that is a doubled pawn. But this pawn is now weak. This is a threat to take that and go there anyways. So now what's the plan? Defending this, but attacking that. Go here? No, you don't go that way. You got to go here. Oh, king move. There's no good checks. Yeah, white is looking good. White is looking good. I would move the king here to prevent this. And go here. They're shuffling now. So white has the advantage. I would keep going back if I was black. Okay, pawn push now. King is forced to stay in this box. Black is going to have to start finding some moves, though. Maybe we move the rook back. No, getting here, keeping the rook here. What is going on? What is going on? How do you make progress? You're going to have to bring this king out. They're going to repeat. Yep, they're going to repeat. There it is. All right, draw between Quentin and Fabio. So Quentin, 0 points on the day, getting their half a point at the end. So now it's 6-7. Fabian gets 2 draws to end up with 1 point. Let's look here. Sam, under 40 seconds. Constant time pressure against Isaac. Have they played before? Is that why? I feel like they have. Why do I feel like they've played before? I don't know. But these are the board 4s. I mean, look at this. 3 minutes to 20 seconds. And that's just brutal. Like, how do you play like this? From either side. I don't know how you play that fast or that slow. Maybe I can relate more to playing that slowly. But 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1. Like, okay. G6. White playing instantly. 1 second. Sam just flags, dude. You flag with the increment. So Isaac gets a huge point. That ensures the draw for UTRGV. They only need a half a point in the remaining 2 games. We got Veronica and Indirect, both players flawless. 3 for 3. Black, deep past pawn, bishop pair, guiding the pawn home. White up in exchange, but it's not going to be worth it. You're going to have to give up a rook for this pawn. So bishop attacking the rook, but just simply moving the rook anywhere along the A file. Not that it could go anywhere else, but rook lifts. The bishops. Oh, these bishops. They're just so pretty. The beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and the black is the beholder here, holding both Bs along the long diagonals. And, yep, bishop trying to trade down. Queen takes. This is actually a decent defense, trying to cover this. But now bishop to B2, hitting the rook, guarding the pawn's safe passage to A2. Does black find it? And they do. Bishop B2. That's basically lights out. Basically. There's queen check, rook check, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to move this rook. And that pawn is unstoppable. So, do you give this up? Because that looks losing too. I think Veronica's going to lose this game, and USC is going to lose this match. That's tough news. They stuck in it for the entire match, and it came down to this last final round. It came down to these last final 2 boards. Let's look at Morgan's game. How is Morgan doing? Morgan can take a pawn. She can, but she can also lose her knight. So the knight comes in with tempo. The bishop can simply take this. And looks like white is going to have a field day on these dark squares. So, yeah, I'm taking this. I'll say that's mine now. Thank you very much. So that knight was one thing that could defend the dark squares, and now it's gone. And this tall pawn back here is staring at some pawns. Look at all these pawns on light squares. My goodness. Literally every pawn on a light square. 18 seconds for Morgan. Yep, queen trade. Bishop here. Hits the rook. You can't go here because that's just mate in 1. So rook goes here, saving the exchange. The queen wants to come here. G4. Kicks the queen out. Let's go back to Veronica's game. How is she holding up? Rook takes, rook takes. So pawn up. She's down a bishop for a pawn. Honestly, not that bad. All things considered. That pawn looked like a second queen on the board. So now she's got to reroute the pawns. She's got to play here. Yes. She's got to play here. Yes. And she's got to play here. I don't know. It's probably the same. It probably doesn't matter. This could be a draw, but remember, UTRGV only needs a draw. Actually, Kentucky just beat... Oh, you got the mate in there. How did you sneak that one through? This queen got a little adventurous. Queen here, and that's GG. So, yeah. UTRGV takes it. That final round. Kentucky, 3 out of 4. So, yeah, Veronica, she just needs to get this last pawn, and it's a draw. So how do you do that? Well, you hope that the king steps here. The king's not going to go there. It's a landmine. And you don't want to push because then black will push, and that dark square will coordinate with the bishop. But, yeah, this game, they're just playing for the point at this point. But that's besides the point. Okay, locking the pawn. I don't like this. That was a not so good move, I think, in my personal professional opinion, because now that allows the king to come in. There go your pawns on dark squares. Not that it matters. If Veronica gets lucky, black will repeat the position. Look at how fast they're playing this. Do they realize how much time they're accumulating? They've been living off the increment, and now they're just gaining time. There's mate. All right. Tough luck for USC. Losing it at the end. Indirect going directly 4-0. And, yeah. Wow. That match was at 6 and 7. And UTRGV brings it home on the remaining 3 boards. Going 10 and 6 overall. That was definitely a much closer match than the score indicates. Score's not even that bad, really. If it was 9-7, it would seem a lot closer. So that's only one game difference from that. But yeah, really, really tight match. Players played really good. There were some fantastic games here. I was proven wrong many times. There were pieces hung everywhere. There were some good mates. There was some good in-game techniques. But yeah, awesome game, and I'm glad that I